Hi, welcome to our live today. And today I am answering a question. This question came from one of the LinkedIn members yesterday. Yesterday's topic was that when you want to talk to somebody, you should not say, okay, let's talk. You should not say, I want to talk to you. And this is why you should not say it was mentioned in yesterday's video. And this person has asked that. One is that how to say that. If you want to say that I want to talk to you, and a direct statement is not to be made, alternatively, how should the same thing be said? And her second question was that in a group setting, how do you manage this? Because in a group setting, it is not possible to just avoid the statement, especially when you want to talk to somebody. Now, there are two, three things here in this which I am going to be telling you so that you are able to manage a scenario where you want to talk to somebody without actually using the sentence, let's talk, or, I want to talk to you. Okay. Number one thing you need to remember is that ask yourself when you want to talk to somebody, and before you say this statement, ask yourself whatever you want to say, is that essential or is that desirable? If your answer is it is desirable, you could let go. If it is essential, obviously you will need to speak at that, whatever topic that is. Very important during this stage is, when you're asking yourself it is essential or desirable, the most important part here is you got to be asking this question to yourself from a calm state of mind. So whatever you're wanting to say, just assess how are you feeling inside. What is the kind of feeling you have inside? What is the kind of emotion you are going through inside? You got to calm down that emotion before you ask yourself this question, is it essential or is it desirable? Because if you are, say, angry, upset about something, disgusted, frustrated, whatever that is, emotion is, from that place, when you ask this question, whether this is, should I ask this question, is this desirable or essential? If your state of mind is not calm, your answer is going to be, this is essential. Because if you're going through that, if you're processing the unresourceful emotions, it is the ego mind that is going to surface, and the ego mind will always say this question or whatever I want to ask or tell is essential, and in that case it might lead to a disaster. Therefore, before asking this question, first calm yourself down. It might take just one moment, it might take a day, but whatever it is, you got to come from a very calm or a neutral place. Now, for instance, you have come from a very calm place, and the voice inside you says, whatever I want to tell this person is essential. All right, then we proceed. Okay. Now, the next step is, if it is a group setting, whether it is your work setting, whether it is your family setting, in a group setting, I would not recommend that you segregate the person and then you say, I want to talk to you, or even in the group, you say, I want to talk to you. In the group setting, it is avoidable to the maximum extent possible. So what you're going to do is either wait for the opportunity where you can be with that person, or wait for the opportunity when the group disintegrates, the work is done, or create an opportunity. Okay, I'll give an example of creating an opportunity. I'm giving an example from my corporate career, which is about, say, this incident happened about 20 years back. I was in HR and I was responsible for the salary disbursement. And 20 years back, the systems were very different. It was not as automated as it is now, and there was a little goof up that happened which was caught by the finance department, and my boss had to speak with me. So he did have a department meeting of 25 people, but he did not segregate me. He did not, let me know that he wanted to speak with me. Once the meeting was over, he says, Parul, would you like to join me for lunch today? I was little surprised and I said, sure, sir, all okay. And he says, absolutely all okay, Paru, but there is some spicy conversation that I want to talk to you. I want to let you know. Now, I was quite curious to know what that spicy conversation is. So I was looking forward to having lunch with him. And when we went for lunch, he said that, do you know, Parul, you know, that spicy conversation that happened? I said, no. He says, any guesses? I said, no, no, no guesses. So he was kind of settling down the whole scenario so that I don't get tensed, I don't get nervous. And then he pointed out where the issue was, where the mistake was, and I realized and I apologized to him, and we rectified the whole thing. So, what I am trying to say is that in a group setting, it's a complete no no. That's one example from my life. You got to either create an opportunity or look for the opportunity. Here in my case, my boss created that opportunity where he could speak with me, right? That is another way to do it when it is a group setting. Third thing is that when say you've got into the point where you are face to face with that person who you want to speak with, you want to tell your point, keep your point across. Now, in that scenario, what you're going to be doing is you are going to tell what you want to say in a flow, which means flow will happen when you create context. Create the context, talk about the context, embed whatever you want to say, and continue with the talk, right? You know what is embed? Embed is like what? Say a sandwich. You have bread, then you have, say, cucumber, and then you have another slice of bread. So start with the context, go in a flow, say what you want to say, and then close it, not with the same topic, but you know, all other stuff. I'll come to that with an example in the next point. So that's the third point. And the last point is that when you come to the point of saying it, you also have to ensure, and I'm sure you already know this, that you got to be saying it from the perspective of I. How did I feel? It's not from the perspective of you did this, you did that, because that can be very, very offensive. And if that gets repeated, then trust begins to break, right? Relationship gets impacted. So the message has to be conveyed from the perspective of I. Now let's take a family setting, for example, wherein I'll tell you the context also, and I'll tell you how you use the statement I. Now suppose there was a family get together, and you wanted to say something to your spouse which was about, I'm giving an example where in that family get together there was dinner, and the hard drinks were being served. But then uh, these guys who were having drinks, they went beyond a certain point. Obviously you can't say anything at that time. Okay, let the party get over, let the day go, let that one day go by, and then when you speak with your spouse, you can say that while party was great fun, I enjoyed, I'm sure everybody enjoyed. Talk about food, talk about people, talk about some of the clothes, some of the dresses you might have liked. Just get into that conversation and say, but you know what, there was one thing, which was like I was very, very uncomfortable with. And that was, can you guess? You can't guess? Okay, I'll tell you. Now, when you guys kept on drinking till midnight, that was the time I was very, very uncomfortable. And that's the only thing which I didn't appreciate, which I didn't like. And I just felt that it was, I didn't feel good about it. So, did you see that the context was laid, and it went in a flow? How I said, embed like a sandwich, right? So I talked about the party, I talked about people, I talked about food, I talked about, you know you know okay, this person was looking nice, this is the kind of dress she was wearing, and I liked that dress, etc. One thing I didn't like about the party, now that's where it's getting embedded. One thing I didn't like about the party was this part of it: you guys started drinking so much, etc. So I was not feeling good about it, but that's okay. I mean, next time we will see that. That is how you're going to conclude. Now the other person has not felt offended. You have talked about your feelings, you have not pointed fingers, and this entire conversation went without saying I want to talk to you. When my boss called me, he called me without saying, I want to talk to you. He just said, can we have lunch together? You can say, can we have coffee together? Let's connect, let's chat. I have something interesting to share. But in a group setting, it's a complete no no. So I hope this person who had raised the question, she is very clear on how the same thing needs to be said, um, relevant in the context, with your mind absolutely calm, knowing if it is essential or desirable, embedding it, and focusing on how you have felt rather than pointing out the fingers. Now, I know it is tough, it is going to be tough initially, but when you practice this over and over again, it's going to become your second nature, and your conversation, your normal natural conversations will flow like that. Okay, whether at your work setting or whether at your family setting, it works every which way in every setting. All right, even in discards, even in case of arguments, if this is what you follow, you will see that argument, why do we argue? Because there is a problem and both the parties are stuck. So you will realize that, when you use this approach, the argument is going to dissolve and you will be able to come towards the solution. Okay. Now that's my take on it, and I would love to know what your thoughts are on this, what your experiences are on this, and do write your thoughts in the comment box. I would love to uh, go through them. And if you still have any questions, please feel free to connect and write your questions in the comment box. I will take it up from there. If you are watching this on YouTube, needless to say, if you like it, then click the like and the subscribe button, the bell icon, so that you will keep getting the notifications. And that's all. You have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 3:30. You take care and bye.